Welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome the people that are in the room, and I'd like to welcome all of our guests who are joining us on the live feed. Today we're here to talk about a really interesting topic, Google My Business. Really, really important for small business to have a presence online. In this day and age, it's very difficult for customers to find people if they don't have a presence online, and Google My Business is the perfect place to start. It is free, and my colleague Nathan will get into the details of the way you can set up Google My Business to be most effective for your business. We are a part of the Digital Champions project. The project is for industry associations to help our members with going digital. So if there are other things outside of Google My Business that you need assistance with, make sure you do get in contact with us. I would just like to do the welcome to country. We would like to pay respects to the elders, past, present and emerging, for the Yagara and the Yagara people. And I would like to introduce Nathan, who will lead the session today. Thank you for joining us, and over to you, Nathan.
Thank you, Lisa. Just a quick intro. My name is Nathan, and I'm the Community Manager for the Motor Trades Association Innovation Hub. We're the first automotive innovation hub in Australia. And for the last 2.5 years, we've been gathering information and gathering knowledge to help our members deal with the disruption that's coming our way that is actually really here. So if you look out into the big wide world, disruption in the automotive industry is actually quite severe. However, wherever there's disruption, there's also opportunity. And this is what it's all about. The opportunity is online. The opportunity is mobility, not just automotive. So as we move along into the future, you're going to see a lot of that happen because it's already happening around the world. So firstly, let's get into Google My Business. So Google My Business is a free service by Google. As we all know, Google literally owns the internet, and about 95% of all searches is actually done through Google. Google themselves had a massive change in the last 3 years. They're not called Google anymore, they're actually called Alphabet. And Google is just one part of the big suite of companies that they own. And they see themselves as an AI company. They don't see themselves as an internet company at all. So let's get going. So, Google My Business is a free service, and it allows you to have your business profile on Google, and it's free. Why? The business profile is a great place to focus all your efforts. And as we know, with search and with SEO and everything like that, the better the details that you have on Google, the easier it is for people to actually find you. So when people search for products, they're already actually close to purchasing. This is all by statistics, by data from Google. And a lot of the time when they're searching for a specific thing, they're ready to buy, or they're ready to go to the place right away. So with your business showing up in their search and all the details is correct, it just means it's easy for them to actually come to you. With the Google My Business profile, there's your business name, location, hour. Google My Business gives you access, and you can monitor and reply to customer review. You can add photos, and you can actually add videos now, and they're really, really pushing for videos. The more videos you put on, it's actually gets into the algorithm that helps you to come on to the search higher. It also allows you to use the analytics side of Google, and you can actually work out where your customers are coming from and how they're coming to you as well. So this is a quick search. If you just jump on and you search for the MTAQ, this is what comes up. So it gives you the knowledge panel, which gives you all the details, where we are. It has a geotag, our website, our contact, our opening hours. But what's even better is that when customers actually post and they say where they are, and they do it on Google or on the platform, it pops up in the actual photo of the business. So this is from events that we create, that we run for Cars and Coffee. So all the cars are there. customers, friends, myself included, every time we take a photo and we post it, it actually goes onto Google and it catalogs that. Of course, reviews is really, really strong in the way that Google wants you to interact with customers and customers interact with you. That ranks you higher as well. So there's a couple of tricks as well. And over the other side, as you can see, I was doing experimentation when I tried to do the research for Google My Business, and events actually pop up. So when you actually have an event and you put it onto your website, it actually pops up onto the search as well. Why? So there's 4 reasons that I'm going to share with you today. Attracting customers with Google My Business allows you to share regular updates. You can share your latest news. You can put specials on and special offers to your customers. At the same time, it allows engagement. So to engage with people online creates more loyal customers. So Google's algorithm really works with that. So when you start a conversation with a customer and you respond to reviews and things like that, it ranks you higher automatically. It helps you to manage your profile and manage your visibility online as well. And at the same time, it allows you to understand how your customers are interacting with you, where they're coming from, what are they looking for, how do people find you. And that Google My Business, a really, really strong part that I've been experimenting is actually part of Google Maps. So a lot of people actually search for businesses on Google Maps now, not just in the Google itself. Google My Business lets you maintain your business information online, and there's 2 ways to do that. You can claim the ownership of the business on Google, or you can add your business on Google. So I wanted to put this here. Small business the beating heart of Australia, having contributed $393 billion to the Australian economy in 2018. When small business are digitally engaged, they're 50% more likely to grow revenue, 8 times more likely to create jobs, 7 times more likely to be exporting, and 14 times more likely to be innovating new products and services. In acknowledgement of these staggering statistics, the Australian government launched the Small Business Digital Champion project designed to assist small businesses in unlocking their potential and digital revolutionize their business. If you look at the statistic, it's actually quite profound, you know, and this is the main reason why, as an industry peak body, the Motor Trades Association of Queensland are really working really hard to try and get this kind of information out there to our members. So I'm gonna quickly just grab my phone and do a couple of demonstrations. So if you have your mobile phone on you, this here is actually more powerful than the computer that got man to the moon. And that just sits in our pocket right now, you know? So I'll give you a quick example. Manly Thai.
Manly Thai restaurant, here you are.
So you click onto that and it actually goes straight into the Google Maps, you know, the knowledge panel that I showed you before. If you scroll up from the knowledge panel, all the photos, you know, reviews, you know, even posts, recommendation of other restaurants in the area actually pops up there. So if you can see, if you can try that out on your phone, just go Manly Thai, just type it in on the search. You can actually see that the way that they actually do their presentation on there, it looks like a social media Facebook post. And that's actually what Google wants. So the algorithm is designed for you to actually share more, because as we know, Instagram is one of the biggest growth platform, because everybody's just sharing photos. So Google, they're constantly innovating, they're constantly changing, and they're doing exactly that as well. Okay, I'll do another demonstration. You go straight into Google Maps. Cafe in Brookfield. So it actually shows you a map of all the cafes in Brookfield. It shows you in the location. Just press onto Wild Canary. I highly recommend this place. It's really, really awesome. It's a cafe that sits inside a landscape supply. So you can actually go and have breakfast, but then you can actually go and buy plants and things like that as well. So if you scroll down, there's all the reviews on the knowledge panel. There's reviews. There's posts from customers in their reviews that look pretty much exactly like a Facebook post. But something that I just found out that is really, really amazing, there's a little section here that says, you visited here last month. So this is me. So I only just found this out this morning. So I pressed onto that, and then it actually gives you a running detail of where I was on the day that Google says that I was at Wild Canary. So if you go up on that, there it is. I had lunch with a really good friend of mine, Dr. Cara Burns from eHealth, and there it is. It actually shows up there. You know, there were photos that I took, and it actually is on my Google. It's scary. However, look at this. If you scroll just downwards, can everybody see that? That actually shows me my travels on that day, because I was using Google to find out how long it's going to take me to get to Wild Canary, because they stopped breakfast at 10:30 and we were a little bit late. So we decided that we're going to call ahead first and order, then we get the food served. So if you think about it, and that is only available to the user, so it's only being seen by me, not by the business. But if you actually know that the customer have this, what do you need to do to help them negotiate their life better? How can you help them to come to you more and spend money with you rather than a competitor? So these are the reasons why Google My Business is so powerful. Okay.
Nathan, just a question. So those results that when we're typing in, just say a cafe in Brookfield, and the ranking of those results that are coming up there, is that going to be directly linked to how we've completed our business profile?
Yes.
So that's why it's really important. So the more videos we've got in, the more photos we've got in, the more content we've got in there, the more likely it will be up towards the top. So that's why having that business profile filled out really well is going to help with directly what people are going to see when they're doing their searches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll actually show some demonstration as part of my presentation. And as part of the presentation as well, I actually did a couple of examples. And I'll just pull one up, and I'll just give an example of another part with the reviews, to listed reviews from your customer. So Vietnamese restaurant in Inala. So on the top of the list is a place called Phương Trinh Restaurant. You can't even pronounce that. How does anyone even type in the name of the restaurant to even find that? But the most amazing thing about this is that we know the owners, and I believe that this is one of the best Vietnamese restaurants in Brisbane. So if you go down, there's a little review that I did as an experiment of the Google My Business here. And this is a picture, if you can see that. It's a picture of just a bowl of pho. That's my girlfriend's hand there. So I wrote, my favorite Vietnamese pho restaurant in Inala, nice clear broth, a lot of Vietnamese herbs on the side, definitely recommended. Really simple, right? He doesn't actually even know about Google My Business or your reviews or anything like that. He hardly speaks Vietnamese. But this here, I get an email just a couple of days ago that tells me that that particular review has been seen 8,000 times. So you think about it, 8,000 times in 4 months that somebody looked at the photo that I put up there. He doesn't even know about it. So he's getting customers coming in to his restaurant without him even knowing how they even got there, because he didn't know anything about Google My Business. So Google, as you register your business, it automatically puts up your business and location. the more information that customers share like myself and interact, the more it ranks in higher. So there's like, I think there's about like 10 Vietnamese restaurants in Nala, but because of the reviews, it's actually ranking higher in people's search. And I'll go through as I go through, I'll show you some of the tricks that you can actually do to get onto that higher. Okay, so just keep them going. By the way, everybody on Zoom, if you have a question, just type it up in the chat. And we have Bill here. He's going to correlate the question and he's going to flag me, and I'll actually try to answer them for you. Okay? Thank you. Let's begin. These are the main 4 reasons why Google My Business is really strong. It helps you to create a Google account. This is how you get on. You can check whether your business is already existing on Google. You can create a business listing, and then you can actually optimize those business listings. So the whole premise of me doing this presentation today is actually to walk you through how you get onto that. So firstly, the first step is to log into a Google account associated with your business. If you don't have one already, you can create one. Step 2, go to google.com/business and select now if you haven't got one. Enter your business name and enter your business address. And by the way too, it's really text heavy because I designed this presentation so that I can actually email it through to you, so that way you can actually follow it through on your own at home. So we'll be sending that out to everybody on Zoom as well. Step 5, if you're business and you go to the customer's location, all you need to do is check the I deliver goods and service to the customer, and then you can actually hide your business on Google Maps as well, so that it's a non-location, it's just in an area, so that people know you're in the general area, but they don't actually know where your house is, because a lot of the trend is a lot of home-based businesses now. And when you do that, you can hide, only show your region, and you can actually select where you deliver to. Also, you can choose your business category, and there's also subcategory as well. So when you choose your category, you have to be a little bit careful, especially in the subcategory, because that actually helps your ranking. Add your business phone number and your website. And if you don't have a website, Google actually makes it really easy for you to actually make a website for yourself as well. And then once you go through the steps, it asks for a verification code. So this is what it actually looks like. So you just type it in, Google My Business, www.google/business, and then you just fill out tick boxes. If your business is already online, or if your business is already registered, it will actually give you a guesstimation of your location. If it's not exactly right, because sometimes, like if you're in a complex, the pinpoint might be somewhere else. So you can actually drag that and actually put it exactly where your business is, and it will get memory of that. Verify your business. Excuse me 1 second. You can verify your business by postcard, by phone, by email, by instant verification, because sometimes you can, depending on the way that your business is set up and recognized by Google. And you can have, if you have more than one location, you can do bulk verification as well. So I ran a little bit of an experiment on my own to try and, get on. So I used to on the workshop. So this is the thing that's really special. I used to on the workshop myself. 20 years ago, my younger brother and I started a workshop and we modified cars. So the name is actually still on Google right now. So one day I was just there for fun. When I was doing this, I typed in Airspeed and it popped up in my location. But the thing is that as I'm going through the process of what I just showed you just then, I got stuck at the verification because the phone number isn't listed anymore. And then it'll ask you for, if it doesn't work, what else, how else can you want to be verified? And it drops down to email, doesn't exist anymore. So I got stuck. So I sent through a verification by mail, and they actually send you a postcard. But the new business that is there right now, they're not playing ball. Every time it gets sent through, they must throw it in the bin or something. And I've came to visit them quite a few times already, and they keep telling me that they don't have it. So yeah, so if that was the case, then there's a couple of ways you can I'll go through it.
I think I received that postcard. I think I received my postcard.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the way that you can verify your business, and I'll go through some of it. It gets really, really dense and thick. So in the presentation, I actually step you through it. So when you get the email, just work it through for yourself. Yeah. And I just took a screenshot of my actual screen of how where I was stuck. But the best thing is that you can actually download the Google My Business, which is My Business app, onto your phone. And it looks like this. So it's actually an app on your phone, you know, and you can actually manage, after you get your verification, then you're allowed to put posts, then you're allowed to review and things like that. But you've got to get your verification first. And when you get your verification, it's also really cool or smart to actually put your name on it when you request the verification code, so that if whoever was in the workshop or in the business can actually go, oh, that's Nathan's, and I'll just put it aside for you. So I'm going to step you through the verification process right now. So first, when you sign in, it will ask you how you want to verify. So just tick the right boxes. Sign in, tick the one verification. Make sure your business address is correct. And then once it's correct, add a contact name, because that's really important. And then straight after that, you click mail, which is the best way. It's normally 5 to 6 days that Google actually send it to you. And this is an indication of how global the business Google is. So in Brisbane, in Queensland, you know, where we're quite small, we think Google's small. No. The postcard to verify your business actually comes from Vietnam. They have a team in Vietnam there that does specifically this, and they send it to you from Vietnam. Once you have gotten your postcard, you log back into Google My Business or onto your app, and then you just punch in the code and submit. It's a 5-digit code, press submit, and it's done. If, like me, it didn't come, you can request another code, so the whole process starts again. And the thing is, while you're requesting your code, it's really advisable for you not to make any changes at all. Because if you make changes without the code, it doesn't move you anywhere and actually confuses the system. So I showed you a screenshot before, because sometimes the phone number that Google already has through the directory that you put on with us, because it was 20 years ago, it was on the yellow pages, they could actually ring you for it. But I tried that as well, but the phone number is not connected. So if your business number, your landline or your mobile is connected to the business when you've originally registered, you can request for them to call you, and they'll actually call you with the code. And then once they call you with the code, you punch it in, and you can send it. They text it through to you as well, depending on what type of request that you can make. Mostly it's text, but if it's a landline, they'll actually call you, and then a robot voice will tell you what the numbers are. And like I said, make sure that your number is correct, and then you can actually verify it. Same goes again. Sometimes some businesses can actually be verified by email. If the email that you put into your directory is connected to the business, you can request for the email to be verified, and they'll send you an email with a verification code. Then it's just a matter of copying and paste, and off you go. Make sure the email is correct as well, and you can verify. Sometimes you can actually verify instantly. Sometimes the Google system is already on there and it's recognized, so it will ship you through a message while you're doing the work, and you can actually verify it instantly by email. and you just click onto the email and basically completely verifies it on the other end, and off you go. So just to repeat the process, you go to Google My Business with the same account, and as they walk you through the steps, you can just click buttons, tick boxes, and you're verified. But it's on a very rare occasion that happens. If you operate more than, say, 10 locations, you can actually request for bulk verification. But with bulk verification, it gets really complicated because each one of the managers or the admin that's looking after the location, or if you have a centralized office, you actually have to put all that in, and then Google would actually verify each of the businesses by the matching of the emails and the details that you put in. So on a bulk, you jump in the same way again, and you sign in, you choose the location, and you click Get Verified next to the name of each location, or you mark all of them and you click Chain, and then you can send out bulk verification out. So I highlighted the important parts. You can actually have your business in multiple country locations that you can actually verify as well, because Google as a platform is designed for a global business. We're up to creating a listing. Is there any questions yet? By Zoom. People, if you have a question, if you shoot it on there, Bill will pick it up and he'll share it with me. Oh, we haven't got any questions, great. So the third step is to create your listing. I'll go slower with this one because this is how you actually get online. If your business isn't registered or isn't on Google, you can actually request by clicking Now and go onto google.com/business, click Now, and it will start you on your setup process. For those whose business have already listed but unclaimed, click on to Own This Business. It will take you to the same stage in the process. The only different thing is that most of the field is pre-filled out for you already. So if you haven't got one yet, I would suggest you just play with it a little bit. Just jump onto Google Maps and type in your business name. Sometimes the business name that you register, they might leave out a word, or, like say Manly Thai, it's actually registered on there as Manly Thai Restaurant. So when you say Manly Thai, Google actually knows what you mean. So it pops up and it actually shows you Manly Thai Restaurant. I use a lot of restaurants because they're the ones that are the most active, and you can actually see action on there, and you can copy that. So it's a little bit, and Google just introduced products as well. So say with Wild Canary, they literally put up their menu product with a photo. So as you're going through, searching, and you're flicking through, it's like 4 stars, 5 stars, and then you actually see photos of the menu. It makes it more enticing. I know that as a service business, like in the automotive business, it's a little bit hard. However, you can actually still take photos of certain things and then communicate that through to people, because these days photos and video have the highest algorithm for ranking because it elicits communication. The longer a customer stays onto your website, stays onto your post, the better the algorithm is to help you rank higher, because that's what they want. That's what the algorithms are for. And then basically all the pre-fill, if it's wrong, then you can edit. But if it's all correct, you can just click to verify, and then it takes you to the next stage. So if you were to create a listing from scratch because you're not on there or you're a new business, you can literally do exactly the same process by going to google.com/business, and then it just takes you through the process. So you click Add Your Business Name, and it just walks you through. Just a reminder, I'm going to be sending this presentation out to everybody that's been participating, including everyone on Zoom as well, so that you can actually take it home and put it on the side and do it on the computer, because it's really hard for me to do the presentation and do it on the computer at the same time, because it takes too long. But I want to just go through really quickly and have some time for answering, and also give a little bit of an insight on what I've found out in my research. Then it will actually get you to add a location, whether it's a store or an office. Your business falls into 3 different types. Whether you run a brick and mortar business, and in our case, it's a motorsport shop, you tick yes to that. If you run a brick and mortar shop, but also visits or delivers to customers, such as an automotive parts delivery business that actually has a shop front, then you can actually click that as well. You can click yes. Then the third category that all business falls into is if you run a business that involves visiting or delivering to a customer directly, but you don't want to conduct the business at your address. Typical example of that would be, say the mechanic is a mobile business, a plumber, an electrician, an auto electrician, or you could be an online business as well, so that you don't want people to know exactly where your house is, that you keep all your stock. You can actually click you tick no, and then it takes you to the next step. So with the 3, let's start with the first type of business. So the first type of business is a brick and mortar business. It's a location which doesn't deliver to customers. So it's just a typical shop front, or a typical garage, or a typical mechanical shop panel beater. Once you select yes, it takes you to enter where your business is located. So as you type in your address, it will actually pop onto Google Maps. It will geotag your business on that particular location. You may see a map with a marker point of the spot where the shop is located based on the address that you're given. If this is the case, make sure it's correct. If not, reposition the marker and then click next. I was involved in a dental business. We opened a dental business about 5 years ago, and at the shopping centre, every time you type in that address, the pin drop actually drops on the other side of the shopping centre. And when people come into one way and they can't find it, they tend to just turn around and leave, because it's one of those circular shopping centre things. It was on the wrong corner. So there was heaps of people that says, oh, they couldn't find it. And once you verify your business, then Google allows you to actually move that pin drop around. So you can actually pick it up, drop it exactly where it is, and press yes, press next, press tick. And then slowly, back then it was a bit slower, now it's almost instant that they readjust everything, and then the address is actually at the exact location where you put it. You then be asked to also ask if you serve customers outside your location. Tick no. If you fall into the second type of business, which is you run a brick and mortar business and you deliver to customers directly, follow the exact same process and tick the yes option. When asked if you also serve customers outside your location, click next, then add the actual area that you serve outside of your location. When you deliver to customers by choosing city or postcode, then click next. So if you're a brick and mortar and you service outside that area, there's opportunities for you to allow people to, to venture further. So like before I said, cafes in Brookfield, but Brookfield is like next door to Kenmore. So at the bottom of the listing, it actually puts a couple of the businesses on there, or cafes on there that's in Kenmore. So as I'm going down, what am I looking for? I'm looking for pretty pictures, I'm looking for high ranks, I'm looking for good coffee and things like that. So it might mean that all the cafes in Brookfield don't have good coffee, but the one in Kenmore does. So I'll drive to the Kenmore one. Same goes with an automotive business, So if you are more specific and you can actually go outside or surrounding area, it just shows up a lot more. So the final type of business is, the business type is for those of you who only visit or deliver to customers directly. So it's an online business or a service business. You have to go back to the initial screen where you're asked if you want to add a location customers can visit, like a store or an office, and you have to click no. you add the area where you operate by choosing the city or the postcode, then you click next, select the region where you're based, then click next. Is that okay, or am I going a bit too fast? How are we going, everyone?
I think it makes more sense once we get into and walk through that.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll be sending out this presentation, so you can actually do it while you have the computer open as well. So the next part is the creating your listing. Start by typing in the actual category that you should be selected on, or most fits you, and click next. Add your business phone number, add your website. If you have already have Google, Google also gives you the ability to build a website for free based on the information you provided, which you will be able to access and modify through Google My Business. We'll cover this in a little bit down the track, but it's really simple. And I'll show you an example that I did for Aerospeed as well. So while you're creating a listing and stepping through all the steps that Google puts you through, it will actually ask you to verify your business again. And then once you verify your business and you click finish, and like before, they ask you how you want it to be verified, and normally it's by postcard, as I was speaking before. And then once your postcard arrives, just type in the verification code and it allows you to go to the next step. So this is where it gets a little bit more funky. So Google themselves see themselves as an AI business, and a lot of it is automated as well now. And I was having a bit of a chat to Lisa just before, and Lisa was saying that the latest information out there is they're actually trying to find, or Google now has the ability to recognize normal speaking voices. You know, so if somebody says, I got a flat tire, I need a new tire, you can go need a new tire and into the search, and you actually pop up, you know, anyone that, you know, the businesses that in the local area that actually have some of those words in their listing. New tires, repair tires, they will actually pop up as a recognition, a search matching. Excuse me 1 second. So let's get started on the optimizing section of Google My Business. Going to Google My Business, log back in. From there, you get a dashboard, and then from the dashboard, you can actually look at, you know, all the information on there and edit. So you should be able to see how to complete your profile is, and the more complete your listing, the more likely be found on the search. So these are some of the suggestions that I have. So getting back to what I was saying before, I got stuck with Aerospeed on the verification part, but it didn't stop me from actually going in and actually starting to modify and starting to build. So on your app, the app, there's a section for you. So it actually walks through. So it's really simple. Quite a few of it's been locked for me because I need to verify first before they allow me to go on. So in the profile section, that's what it looks like. So I took some photos from 20 years ago of all the cars that we built, and I put it on there, and you can actually see it on there. So just like the example that I had before with Wild Canary and Manly Thai, the way that they do it almost looks like it's an Instagram feed. They even have videos on there, and Google right now give you more credos. The algorithm is post more towards video, because what does that mean? It means that people are watching a video and they're staying online for longer. On Facebook, it's exactly the same now. All the algorithm of Facebook is actually towards long form video now, not short form anymore. So, and then now Instagram is doing it as well with Instagram TV. So you're creating a video that's longer than a minute, they will actually throw you onto the website or to the platform, and you can watch the rest. So Google is doing exactly that because Google owns YouTube. So the best way to do it is to actually make a video on YouTube, take the link from YouTube, and then post it onto your website. That way, the algorithm works better. It gives you a high ranking when people search for you, rather than you do the video and load it up yourself. Do the video, put it into YouTube, then take the YouTube link and stick it into your LinkedIn, stick it into your Twitter, stick it into your Facebook, and then that will help your business rank higher when people are searching for you. On the left-hand side of the menu, there's the info option. You should see a recap of the information available for your business and start, which is you're really making sure that all the spelling is correct, making sure that it matches with your registration, your business name, and things like that. You can modify any of the section you want by clicking on the actual edit pencil icon. If your name is correct and everything, move to the next stage. The category, then you get into the next section, which is category. The category is really, really crucial for ranking, and it should be chosen carefully. The next page, I actually have how many letters that you're allowed in each of the sections. So when you're initially setting up your listing, you can only select the primary category. Here you have the option to add a second category, and the additional second category which you think are relevant to your business. Don't think that, SEO, you're going to put everything on there to try and catch SEO. Google knows that now. So the SEO's phrases and all that, it doesn't actually work on Google anymore if you're trying to put it into the category. And don't select too many categories as well. Be really, really specific. And try to be as specific as on how people are going to be searching if they're looking for what you do. If you deliver directly to the customer, you can add which area by using the service area option, and you can click onto that. How's everyone doing? How's everybody online, Bill? Oh, okay, sorry. I have a message, a question. Excuse me.
Darren says he's good.
Okay. I'm glad we'll be getting an email to the PowerPoint as we cannot see this on our computer screen. I apologize about that. The camera that we have automatically adjusts to the brightness. So yeah, it's a little bit hard. But like I said, I'm going to send through this presentation. And when you go through the presentation, it's a step-by-step. And if you're opening Google, whether it's on your phone or whether it's on a computer, you can actually follow the steps through and get it done. Thanks, Maurice. If you haven't added your website to the address, you can do it now. Or if you use the Google My Business free website, you can actually go and work on that right away as well. If your business rely on an appointment, you can actually use an appointment URL section that they put up there. You can paste the appointment URL or contact page, and it actually hyperlinks it to there, and people can actually book themselves in. So there's apps that are available that they can actually book themselves in, and it shows up onto your email or your actual calendar. Some of you also have access to a service option, which allows you to describe the various service you offer using up to 1,000 characters. The service only shows up in Google Maps. So with the amount of service offering, there's only about 80 letters that shows up, and that actually includes the space as well. So you can type in 1,000 words, but not all that will show up. It only shows up a short form, which is up to 80 letters, including the space. So it's really good to be more succinct and to use those words wisely. You can add various attributes to your listing, such as wheelchair access, amenities, the service you provide. In a workshop perspective, you can add in, specialized equipment that you have. It could be a hoist or especially sensors and things because sometimes some cars, you can't work on them if you don't have the specialized equipment. And if you do have the specialized equipment, then you spend a lot of money. Let people know that, so that it actually drops you, the algorithm allows people with those particular cars to find you. So with the business description, it's up to 750 characters. Is there a message through? So flash. Yeah. 750 characters. Don't use this space to add keywords, links, hashtags, or anything that is sought as to take into account the Google algorithm. So Google knows that now. Try using this space to give more information about what you do and why the people should consider your business. Like I said, now Google is working on natural form, natural language. So the algorithm is picking up, I need a spare tire, I need to fix a tire. You can click on to photo links on the left-hand side of the menu as well, and it brings onto the panel covering multiple angles and showcase your business in a way that can add photo ranging from your logo, the interior, the exterior of your business, and also photos of the actual team member as well. So if you can go back to what I was showing you before with the MTA website, it actually shows, some of our trainers and things like that, for photos people taken. You can also, and the big one right now, like I said, is actually video. So you can actually put it up there. And videos are actually more powerful than photos now because it makes people stay on your platform for longer. Try adding relevant images and describe the enhanced exposure in the listing. Until your business is verified, it's pretty much everything you can do, but you should definitely keep you busy until the postcard arrives. So I'll just show you quickly what I've got, which is that. So it's pretty much the start of it. And you can go down, services, it has all the times, section where it says describe your business and all that as well. I can only edit my business to a certain stage without the verification code, but once you actually have it, that's what it looks like. Yeah. So that's just the app, but you can get that on your computer, PC as well. So this is the free website that you can get. There's different themes that you can pick and different colors you can choose. And it's a really fast, active map. It goes all the details that's relevant and it doesn't cost you anything. You can do it yourself. So I'll get into that section now. Creating a free website. They say it only takes like 5 minutes. Of course, it's going to take a bit longer because we have to, add photos and text and everything. But yeah, so Google My Business website builder is totally free. Aims to help any small business owner worldwide who do not have a website to launch a web page in a matter of minutes, which gives them more visibility in a local engine search results. Log into Google My Business. You should have your business details and everything on the right-hand side, and then navigate the menu on the left-hand side. And basically, it's a tick and flick, cut and paste. Add photos. I do it on my phone because a lot of my photos are taken on my phone. So yeah, they know that. So you can actually do a lot of it on your phone. You don't need to go to a computer. So from the navigator menu, select website option. You'll start the website page setup. Once it's complete, then you can actually customize your website. So as you go through the steps, they give you themes. The first option in the menu is called themes. This allows you to choose a particular look and feel for your web page. You can pick a design from up to 10 different options. Your choice is currently limited to these 10 different options, but they literally change it all the time and they try to be really relevant. So you might find that tomorrow or next week, they might have a different theme on there that suits your corporate image a lot more. So yeah, you choose the theme and then tick the icon of the top of the page to validate your choice. The next step is to change the copy of your web page. Click edit. and then it reveals the 4 fields on how you actually can edit your copy of your web page. And the 4 fields are headlines, a description, summary header, and a summary body. And that's just the common section in a one-page website. And a lot of people, even a lot of the massive corporates I notice now, they're only using a one-page website. They don't do a lot of text and a lot of information anymore because it just confuses people too much, and people don't want to. Decision fatigue just drains people, so it keeps it really simple. All the fields have character restriction, so all the fields are up to 80 characters. The description can contain up to 140 characters. The summary header only holds 40 characters, and the number of characters include your space as well. So it's designed to take a really small space of data on the system. By default, the headline is by the name of your business, and the description is your category compliant with your location. You can modify the summary header and we'll try to incorporate a relevant keyword into your business. Remember, it can only hold 40 letters, including spaces. So choose it really, really wisely. Sorry, that's my timer to tell me that I'll just quickly finish. The summary body is customizable and simple. It's just to edit the ribbon. Once you do that, the opportunity to sell your service products and showcase your business is up online. Moving to the next section, which is photos. You can add as many images as you like. At this moment, they haven't restricted, but now that they've introduced video, there might be a restriction. It's always good to look at about 4 to 5 photos, which is good. And then when you open it up, they always show 5, and then the next one is just a plus section that you have to click on to get into another section. It's not possible to crop your image. So sometimes, you know how like with Instagram, they do the square photo thing? So just play around, because sometimes when you take a photo, it's not right in the middle. So as you play around, you sort of know what part you want, and then as you load it, it just goes on to there. This is the section of the part that's a little bit clunky. If you want to delete an image that you put on, they don't allow you to delete where you just added. You actually have to go back to the beginning of the business page and delete it from there. So I'll just quickly go through this section rather than going back and describing the exact process, but I'll be sending this out to you. At the bottom of the page, beneath the business image, you will find the map where your business is located. So when you type in the address, it automatically clicks that on. Along with your address, your phone number, and the hours of your business operation. This should be filled out as a default. If you haven't filled out your hours, you need to go back to the main Google My Business interface and edit your profile. Once you're happy with your web page, all you need is to hit the publish button, and then pretty much you're on. By default, Google actually, the extension of the business will say Aerospeed, which is my business. It will go aerospeed.business.site. And that's the tag, or that's what it just gives you. But if you actually go and register a business a website domain, you can actually add that onto the section. And Bob's your uncle. You have a new Google My Business website, free. And this is one of the ways to help optimize with your posts. You keep, when you're doing your posts with your videos and your photos, it keeps it relevant and keeps the engagement with the customer. The algorithm loves that. Google's, the hottest marketing tactic for small business is actually the post, and use the post to literally gander and collect and get more customers that way. Google Posts looks like a social media post, like I said, for small business directly onto Google, and your post can be seen directly on any smart devices, your phone, tablets, laptops. And I use my phone for a lot of it because most of the time we just, pick up our phone and we go for it. When you're posting photos, It's always good to get smiling faces and directly into your eyes because the algorithm picks that up. It's really the same for your Facebook and your Instagram as well. I'll try to avoid stock photos because it's been recognized before, so the algorithm thinks that you're somebody else, and always try to make it more personal to you. When you're posting video, you hold your video horizontally, and then when you load it, it just goes on a lot easier. Just like in Instagram photo, you can't really do this. You have to go vertical, horizontal, sorry. So there's 4 different types of Google posts. There's what to use, offer, events, and products. So under those headings, as you put those things on, it loads it up onto Google and it runs the algorithm and it allows people to visit you and stay for longer. When you make a product post, so say like at the restaurant, the product tab is a mobile version of the business, which is what I was saying before. That's why I just use my phone. And always try to post at least once a week. I know it's hard, but we're doing that on our social media anyway. So just you might be able to kill 2 birds with the same stone. My friends at the Manly Thai, their post on their Google is exactly the same as their post on their Facebook. So they just, you know, put the same thing on. They do it once and they just cut and paste on. First 80 characters are the quality, and that's the one that's going to be shown. You can have 1,000 characters if you want, but Google will only show the first 80, so it's good to, you know, really keep it within that. And then, if you get your verification code, it allows you to get into your analytics as well, so you can actually see who's been looking at you. You can see, you know, the time that they join on and things like that. And that's the whole analytics side. There's a whole part to analytics as well, but I won't cover it here because it gets a bit too minutiae. Google reviews is really important, and this is all about the engagement. This is about how customer stays on for longer. The algorithm loves that. And the other thing that's really special to it, or really important, is that you shouldn't always try to go for just 5 stars all the time. It's how you reply to a particular, like a critique or a 1 or a 2 that really helps. Because for me, when I'm looking, I'm seeing 5, 5, 5, 4, and then I see a 1. It's like, oh, what's going on there? I click onto the 1 straight away. So somebody might be saying something, but if you address them in a really, you know, nice way, and Lisa is really good at this, it actually, people are people, you know, they read the customer review that is maybe not really right, and then they see the way you answer it, and you're inviting the customer to, you know, to come back and things like that. They will judge you on that. So don't go for just 5 all the time. It's somewhere in the middle, which is the best. So I call it like the Goldilocks effect, you know, not too hot, not too cold, just in the middle. So the other one that I have, I suggest is to actually try to elicit customer reviews. And if you're eliciting customer reviews that hits some of those points that you're trying to get out there into the algorithm, like the services that you provide, that's really, really persuasive, and it's really good for new customers. And if you have a good customer and you ask them for a review, they'll just do it for you straight away. Most of us are afraid to actually even ask for it. When you actually ask for it, people just give it to you. And like I said, it's really great for SEO because the algorithm picks that up, and it's not you saying it, it's the customer saying it. So the algorithm gives it a high ranking, and that just adds on to how you can get higher and higher on the ranking without spending any money. So it's about quality. Try to respond to every review. And to connect to your customer. You can even you know, talk to them in a way that invites them back and elicits them to reply to you as well. Always remember to make positive review personal, and the algorithm loves that. Download the Google My Business app like I showed you on the mobile, and if you click notification, you'll actually pop up that somebody's just given you a review and you can actually answer them. And the Google My Business app is available on iOS and on Android. When you get a negative review, they suggest even try to get negative reviews because it balances it out. And then the way you answer a negative review is really important. Like I said before, if you have a heap of 5 stars all the time, people will think it's a robot. If you have really bad reviews all the time, then people definitely ignore you. So it's always good to be just right in the middle. This was the part that I was saying about encouraging customers to give you the review that's specifically towards the services that you provide. And that way, it builds trust in other customers looking at your business as well. So you were saying about doing electric transplant. A review of that is like, you know, it's about EV transplant. So it's exactly what it matches. That's why when I wrote that review about the photo restaurant, I gave the points of what people are looking for, which is lots and lots of different variety of the things in the soup, and it's clear. So it really helps the algorithm. It helps people to connect with you, and when they connect with you on the analytics side, it actually helps you to hone your presence as well, because it allows you to know what is Google loving and what it doesn't, then do more of the things that Google loves. So that's sort of, I understand that it's quite tech heavy, but like I said, I'll send this through for you. We only have an hour, but if there's anyone that, you know, wants to ask any other questions or, you know, or anything like that, shoot me an email and I can help. Yeah, so before we go, is there any questions on the, yeah, cool. Excuse me a second, I'll just turn my computer on. Well, my computer's on, yeah, okay. Opening out, I couldn't find where you could define what time zone you're in. So people are looking for my business on Google daytime saving time. Yeah, so this is something that is a little bit, so in Queensland we have daylight savings. A lot of the time the accelerometer on your phone actually communicates that, you know, you're in Queensland, and it automatically takes the time. And so when you actually put your time onto the Google search or in the Google Maps, and you're saying you open from 5 to, you know, say 9 to 5, then it'd actually be 9 to 5 local time. So if you're searching into Sydney and the business says it's 9 to 5, just remember that they're not on daylight savings. So if you're going to bring them up at 5 o'clock in Brisbane, they'll already be closed. So you just got to work locally. And Google My Business is designed for a local business anywhere in the world. I hope that answers your question, Michelle. Yes, Darren, like I said, I apologize. It was really hard for me to do this because I can do it, you know, open a page and sit there and do it and talk to you at the same time, or I can actually, you know, give you the step-by-step like I've done, and then after this, email through to you. The first workshop I did a 2-hour workshop, and I actually stood here and got questions fired at me from all different types of businesses. But the majority of the businesses that registered are actually mechanical businesses. So that way, this one was done specifically for that. It's a step-by-step. Yeah. So I'll definitely be sending this out to you, Darren. Question from Al. Is there a way to connect the Google review to our company website? The best, I don't know that one actually, because with Google, I was speaking to a couple of the attendees here, and we were talking about on what platform, like Wix and things like that. There's APIs that you can connect onto, but that's a little bit, because I don't know your specific case, I apologize, I can't answer to that. So first things first, maybe ask your web developer if they do know.
Nathan, the suggestion is that in your website, you can actually create a reviews or testimonials area. So there'll be widgets available for you to actually embed into your website, then cut and paste the reviews. Yes. It's quite fine to cut and paste reviews, but you should put a source. Yes. So I put in brackets after that, this is located on Google My Business reviews. Yeah. So that way you've actually made it very clear that the person did make the review on Google My Business rather than actually on the website, but you can absolutely cut and paste those reviews as long as you reveal the source.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Lisa. So just quickly, Al, you can cut and paste, you know, you literally can screenshot make sure that you cite where it comes from, and you can actually kind of paste it on, and people would be okay with that. So I noticed that on, say, Instagram, they're actually posting other people's posts, and it's just a screen grab of a person's face, their Instagram handle, and what they say, and people are posting that on there. So it's a common thing because it's about algorithm. So yeah, definitely you can just do a cut and paste in a section that says, you know, reviews. Thank you.
Thanks everybody online. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm sure that everybody like me is very thankful for Nathan giving us all of his information in relation to Google My Business. We will absolutely be sending this presentation out to everybody. Thank you, Nathan. And questions you can also forward through on the return email. So when we send that presentation out, if you have questions, they can just be returned straight back to us. Another little hint, if you need to get good reviews, you've got staff, you've got friends, you've got family, get them reviewing. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you. Bye.